This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Whatever. What's up, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the Postcast, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Tim Daniel. I am a long-suffering Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And thank you all for spending some time with me today as we discuss the Reds getting swept by the Athletics in a 7-4 loss this Sunday afternoon. Thank God the Bengals won. Otherwise, this would have been a really rough sports weekend for me. If you're just checking my show for the first time, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Please be sure to hit that notification button. If you want to get just 13, 14, I don't even care anymore, games left of the Reds on of my reactions here on the Postcast, but you can always get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. 13 games. Thank you all so much. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. Well, at today's show, they got swept by the A's. They got swept by the A's. We're going to talk about that. Nick Lodolo didn't have any Lodolo luck in him today, and for their two best pitchers to let them down at this point of the year is absolutely devastating. And Will Benson continues to kind of do a metaphorical "I told you so" to the Reds coaching staff. All that and a whole lot more, and I'm sure you guys are going to make me smile with some comments as well, and I'm going to need them to get through this show.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Swept by the A's. Not the Oakland A's, not the Las Vegas A's, the Sacramento A's. The Sacramento Athletics, who you could have probably convinced me were a double-A team if I didn't know the restrictions of the fact that they were just stuck there between all the stuff going on with their move on to Las Vegas and things like that. And I could have lived if it was like, oh man, you know what? They played 3 really good games and they just got beat. I could have lived with that. How they got beat is what's really irritating. Michael says it right here. Michael's hitting point number 1. 1 for 22 with runners in scoring position against the last place team. What? How do you do that? Obviously today, like yesterday, offense was going, right? They tied the game up, and you thought maybe they could pull that game off. They should have pulled that game off, and then they gave it away. Friday, they looked like they wanted to be anywhere else, but whatever that ballpark's called. And then today, they're off to a 3-0 lead, and you're thinking like, hey, all right, cool. We got this. Will Benson homers, and Sal Stewart makes, of Marte homers, and Will Benson homers, and you're like, all right, cool. This is their game. Sal Stewart homers later in the game. No. Nick Lodolo decides today was the day that we just had to go ahead and let it all go. It's just so unbelievably irritating because it goes back to what Williams is listed quite a bit here of late when he's been talking about these teams that the Reds have lost to. It's these teams that they've been losing to throughout the season. This isn't just recently. And we're sitting here talking about them again, losing to a team of that level. I'll go through it again one more time. The Nationals, the Marlins, the White Sox, the Pirates, now the Athletics. It's brutal. It's absolutely embarrassing. And if you're a Reds fan and you're like, oh man, it's okay because they're still in this. The Mets won today too. We've been like, oh, it's okay because the Mets are going to hand us one, right? The Mets are going to give us the spot. The Mets are just begging the Reds to take it. And they have been begging the Reds to take it. It's not like this is just like a thing that came up this weekend. We are in the Mets won today. Cracked their 8-game losing streak. And the Reds lost. So the Reds fall further back. There are so many things about this that are so frustrating. And there's so many things about this that just really drive me crazy. Like I said, I can live with getting beat. Baseball's a weird game. Things happen. But when you can't be competitive with the A's who don't even have a city, can we just mention that again? You're lined up for all three matchups. You're like, you got the pitching advantage on paper in all three matchups, and you do nothing. God, it's just so frustrating, man. And now they're under 500 now too. They're 74 and 75. They're going to look at yet again another situation where they have yet another losing record in the second half of the season, which numbers games wise doesn't really tell. What I'm referring to is the last time the Reds had a winning record in the season post All-Star break was 2013. Can you believe that? And I know 2020 doesn't count for this situation. They only played 60 games. And this is just one of these things where, I said it a couple of weeks ago. I know that there's like I saw what Gavin Lux said, but he's like, it's a young team. We got some stuff to learn. Like, this group's not really young anymore. Like, yeah, I know by the fact that their birth certificates, they're young, but baseball years, we're halfway through arbitration, my dudes, on a few of these guys. So when is this going to be figured out? When is this going to get better? Does it get better? I'm not super confident in that right now, to be honest with you all. But it's just one of these things where it's so frustrating. So Adrian puts it here. A loss today, the Reds would be 7-15 their last 22. Brutal. 11-11 would have put them in the third spot over the Mets game by half game with a tiebreaker. 4 games difference. 4 more wins. We're going to have a different conversation. Now, your star player can't get a hit. Yeah, we all know. We saw that. I'm sorry. He can't put a ball over the wall. Has been able to do it for God knows how long. But yet you still hit him third when you know that he is not his full self. When you know that it's just a situation where he just doesn't have it right now, you know that his leg's hurting him. And once again, I'm going to point it out for the 400th time because it is just manager malpractice. He's playing every day. What benefit was he getting from playing every day? Now, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's no way they're catching these teams. The rest of the season, they play divisional foes. They've been awful against the division all year. Whatever, play him the rest of the year, and maybe he runs to a ball at some point. I doubt it. I doubt he hits a home run at some point the rest of the year. There's no way he does, right? The way he's swinging the bat. I mean, today, he's 0 for 4. He hit contact. He could put the ball in play 3 times for an out, but one of those was a double play. This is just on. Why does Terry Francona do this? I've been watching Terry Francona for decades now, right? Manny Ramirez got days off. David Ortiz got days off. Jose Ramirez got days off. Why the hell is this well, he's got to play? Is this some Scott Boras thing? Is that what it is? Is Scott Boras the one that's he's got to play? Yeah, Adrian says right here. OPS has dropped 100 points in the last 6 weeks. 100 points. He's at 764. I don't know. I'm just done. I'm just done with all this crap right now. I'm done with what they're showing us each and every day. I'm done with this effort they're putting out. And today, I don't care at this point. If they go, there's no way they're going on a run. And if they do, I'll be happy. But even with that being said, they made it. If they somehow go on some miracle rally these last 13 games, they somehow take these 4 series, which they're not going to do, then the argument's going to be, you could have made it much easier on yourself than you did. So that's where I'm going to go and call the first segment because I can't do it. I'm just so unbelievably frustrated. And Nick Lodolo didn't make anything better there. Now, did he? Let's talk about that and more right after this. The NFL season is here. My Cincinnati Bengals are somehow 2-0, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel. I've got a nice money line parlay going right now. 3 of my legs have hit so far. I'm just looking at the Vikings tonight, hoping they can get that win as well. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's a quick, easy way and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. This episode's also brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all less than 60 seconds. I've been playing PrizePicks lately, and it's such a fun way to stay locked in for the season. It's quick and easy, and honestly, my favorite way to follow along with football. I love checking projections like Josh Allen more or less 270 yards passing, or Saquon Barkley more or less one rushing touchdown. It's all quick and easy. Download the PrizePicks app and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Want to go ahead and shout out our everydayers here on the Postcast for spending some time with us through this god-awful stretch of baseball and whatever the heck is going on with the Cincinnati Reds. But if you want some glimmering hope, they're still in it somehow. And Jeff and Steve over on Locked On Reds can give you that Monday through Friday and even through the offseason. You'll be able to get their shows as well. Turning point in today's game was everything.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So Nick Kurtz hits another giant home run in the bottom of the 5th inning, his 32nd of the year. Friendly reminder, the guy who has the most home runs for the Reds this year has 19, has not hit one since the Nixon administration. So we've got that going for us. But yes, Nick Kurtz has almost doubled the Reds' most powerful hitter. And that's just kind of how this goes. And who did he hit that off of? Nick Lodolo. Now, Hunter Green yesterday was really bad. It's probably the worst start of his career. And in a situation when the Reds really needed him to kind of be his best, he wasn't. So today, because of that, it adds a little more stress on Nick Lodolo to be his best. And he wasn't. Now, he does go 6 innings, but he gives up 3 homers. He just gives up 5 earned runs on 8 hits. Now, his ERA just goes up to a 3.30. And I think I've been relatively happy with this season when he wasn't battling injury. I've been really happy with what they've gotten from Lodolo this year, honestly. But in a day like today, when they really needed him to be at his best, it's just so frustrating. And I don't know how they get to this point now because, like I said earlier in the previous segment, these guys aren't young baseball-wise anymore. We can't do this thing anymore. Like, Nick Lodolo and Hunter Green are now in a situation where, call it what it is. I know it doesn't look pretty, but they were in this situation 2 summers ago. They're fighting for a playoff spot. They're playing the team's playing pretty decent in and out. They were much better than they are this year for sure. And they can't, all these guys just tire out. They hit this wall and they can't seem to get over this wall. And I don't understand it. And this is like me just kind of trying to figure out, maybe I'm just don't know what I'm talking about. I know someone in the comment section will say that, but this wall keeps getting hit this August, September point of the year. And when is this going to be figured out? And who's going to be the one that figures this out is what I'm trying to really get to. I mean, is it going to be the crawl regime? Is it going to be Tito and his crew? I'm not confident in either of them right now. And Nick Lodolo doing this as well is what's really frustrating. Anna says Ellie needs to be down in the order and be a DH in off days. Bingo. Anna, I 1,000% agree with you. He also needed to be doing that in July. This isn't a new thing. But Nick Lodolo, really frustrating start. And it'd been fine if he was like not too bad in the Dodgers start he had, but he was bad in that start too. And then the Padres start, he kind of did that thing where he gives us some hope again, and you're feeling really good, and they can't get it done. So just really frustrating. This is why, anytime someone's like, they don't really need a starter, never hurts to have more starters because you're running into situations like this. And like I said earlier as well, we're about to get to a situation where the rest of the way, I mean, like I said, I know mathematically the Reds are still in it. And I know they'll probably do something stupid where they'll win a series and they'll make us believe again and we'll fall for it again because we're buffoons. We're so desperate to see a winning baseball team. But you guys aren't buffoons. I'm the buffoon. I'm sorry. That came off wrong. But somehow they're only 2.5 out. But it's just falling apart at the seams. And I don't know if I can really ever feel like good about this team. Oh, by the way, the Dodgers are up 9-2 on the Giants right now. So Yet another chance the Reds had to gain some ground, and they couldn't. Jason says, no, we are buffoons. I don't like to call you guys names because you guys are all very nice people. Stone Cold Setso says, should the Reds be open to trading Lodolo or Green? I would keep Green. I fully believe Hunter Green is the dude. And I think that if I had to pick one or the other and I could get a power bat that could really help this team in the middle of the order, I would be open to Lodolo. Especially with Andrew Abbott doing what he did this year. And, you got Chase Burns. You need to make room for one of these guys. Who knows? I mean, maybe Rhett Lauder is someone who's going to kind of go out there and piggyback as well and do his thing. So, yeah, if I'm completely open to it, if you can get a power bat. But I don't want it to be something I just run to and just do right away. And you know what? Who's a guy who's kind of been showing like, hey, I can give your team some power and you let me sit for a long time? Will Benson. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There are so many products out there and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with proactive approach. Whether you're at work, out with some friends, or even just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine. And you can get the feel good about knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified and backed by peer-reviewed studies. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Locked On MLB. Will Benson keeps doing this thing where he just makes you believe that maybe he should be getting more game action, right?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Will Benson today, the homer that kind of gets the Reds feeling good. Will Benson has homered in his last, 4 starts, if you go back to the August 1st start, when all of a sudden he just gets sent down. And it's just one of these things where I really laugh in the sense of having the Will Benson, because you hear Jeff and Steve talk about it just about every episode, right? Like where Jeff says like, look, I know he's definitely flawed, but I think he helps the team. And Steve goes like, he's a 4A player. Both things can be true there, but he certainly is the most hopeful player they have right now. And I don't understand what the deal is with the organization. I know a lot of people say like Francona doesn't really like him. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I don't think he's confident in him. And I really love that right now Will Benson's able to show him like, dude, like I'm the best thing you got in this lineup right now. And I'm the best thing you have going for you. So hopefully Will gets to play out the rest of the year. Michael says it here. He's a spark plug with pop. Yeah. I'm not saying he's, Ken Griffey Jr., but I'm also not asking him to be that. So I love what he's doing right now. It's the one thing keeping me happy that's going on this season. I really kind of hated Austin Hayes being put in for him. Honestly, I understand why they did it. I would not have done it. The Austin Hayes has been pretty decent of late as well. And he did draw a walk in that at bat that he had as well. But with that in mind, the Reds are once again, somehow losers to the Athletics, 7-4. The A's have 7 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The Reds have 4 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Your winning pitcher is Luis Morales. He is now 4-1, and Nick Lodolo is now 8-8 with the loss. And getting his first save of the 2025 campaign is Michael Kelly. And now the Reds try to hold on to any glimmer of hope by going to St. Louis, who's also terrible, I might add, but I bet you they find a way to win 2 of these 3 games against the Reds. Zach Littell takes the hill for the Reds. He is 9-8 with a 3.78 ERA, and he was going against Matthew Liberatore, who is 7-12 with a 4.35 ERA. First pitch is at 7:45. Everyone, I'm so sorry that I've gotten very jilted and jaded from this team these last couple of weeks. As you know, I absolutely love coming on here and talking baseball with you guys and having fun with you. And the fact that I haven't been able to because how bad this team's been playing has really broken my heart. But I love you all. I really appreciate my days spending time with you all. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I don't know. It's really nice out. I might go have a nice glass of bourbon and just forget about the Reds and forget about Notre Dame football and just enjoy the fact that at least I got a Bengals win this weekend. Have a good one, everybody.